Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. So today we are going to be doing blending. I'm going to be talking about blending, okay? I had a request on Facebook to give some tips on blending. So that's what I'm going to do today. So we're going to do this look right here. I love my purples, If you follow me, you see that I wear purple quite often because I love it. Before I get started, I gotta talk about this hair, okay? So tell me what you think. I was kind of going for like a Viking kind of look. I saw somebody on TikTok, I forget what her name is. I saw her on TikTok. She was doing a demonstration on how to do this hair, and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to. So I'm going to try it again next time, but what do you think? Let me know what you think in the comments. Did I do a good job? I don't know. Let me know. So before I get started and get right into it, I'm going to show you the palettes that I used to create this look. I used 3 different palettes. This one is from Spoiled Cosmetics. I believe it's called Ouiji, or I'm not 100% sure. Forgive me. But there is a ton of palettes on her website. You got to check them out. They're really, really good. Great quality. Great for blending. Great for blending. So that was one palette that I used. I used the Mikayla X palette. I love this palette. This is like really, really, really good. Mikayla from TikTok. And this is from GLAMLITE. You gotta check it out. And then the last palette that we used is Wicked Sisters. And this is the Ghoul book. Okay? These palettes are so good. You can check these guys out on Etsy and Instagram. Check them out. They got a ton of good palettes. I have quite a few of their palettes, and they're really, really good. Before we start putting color on, I'm going to talk about eye primer. Eye primer is so important when you're doing your eye makeup. It is so important. Our eyes have so much natural oils on them. So if you don't use an eye primer, it's going to crease, and it's not going to blend properly either. So the 3 eye primers that I like the most... one is Milani. You can get this at Walmart. You can get it anywhere. I'm sure you can probably even get it at any drugstore. Milani. This is a really good brand. I really, really like this one. The second one is NYX 24-hour photo finish. This one is really good too. It is a wax finish. It's really, really, really good. But my favorite eye primer is Anastasia Beverly Hills. This one is my favorite. You can get it at Sephora. And it is my favorite because it dries to a powder base, which makes it so much easier for blending. It's effortless. It is effortless. That's what I have on right now. And I mean, these 3 are my go-to primers, but I use this one religiously every single day. Ever since I found this one, these ones... I don't even use very much anymore, like if ever. So if you really want a great, great, great primer for blending, you got to try this. It is a game changer. I am telling you, it is a game changer. And I know a lot of people, they use concealer. Myself, personally, I do not use concealer. I will not. I feel like it still creases and doesn't really hold your makeup in place. I mean, if you're just doing for quick Instagram, TikTok video, whatever, then fine, it's good. But if you want all day with your makeup staying in place, please use an eye primer. It is so important. But yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up too. Like, I know a lot of people use concealer, but I don't know. Not me. I prefer an eye primer over concealer any day. So for my crease, to get started, I'm going to use this Spoiled Lip Cosmetics Ouiji palette. And I'm going to use this shade right here. It's a really nice purple. And I'm going to use a brush that's kind of flat but fluffy. So with blending, you need to have a fluffy brush. Now I like these. This one's a little bit dense, but it is still fluffy and it's kind of flat. I like using these brushes for the crease. It really gets the color in, and then after I will show you that I do a fluffy brush to really, really blend. So I'm going to start applying the color. I already kind of did, and I forgot to press record. So let's put it on, and I'm kind of moving in circular motions just because I kind of want to have a little bit of a blend, kind of getting started. But, and I'm a little bit older, so I have to pull my skin back because otherwise it's not going to go on good. And so I just really like packing in that color in the crease, and I like really get it in there because when you blend, it's going to tone down the color a bit, and I want it to be really bright, bold, and beautiful. And another thing too, for an eye primer, to get colors to be really bold, white or something like the one I'm using is really, really good. It's really going to make the colors pop. So I'm pretty happy with the way that the color is on. So now I'm going to take a fluffy brush. I'm going to use this brush here. This brush is also from Spoiled Cosmetics. It's the feather brushes. It's really cute. And this is a really fluffy brush, okay? Really, really fluffy. And I'm going to hold it at the end. So if you hold it at the end of your brush, if you hold your brush at the end, sorry, you're going to get a lighter touch. If you hold it in the middle, it's going to be kind of medium. If you hold it in the front, it's going to be put a little bit more pressure. So when you're blending, you want to hold it at the end, and because you want to have a really, really light touch. So fluffy brush, hold it at the end, super light touch. And then I'm just going to go in circular motions because I don't want that line there. So I'm just going to blend that out. And then I'm just going to add a little bit more color here, just because on the ends, because I didn't go out far enough. I didn't go out as far as I normally would. So let's put that in. Okay, and then we're just going to blend again. And when you're blending, don't put anything on the brush. This was a clean brush, but I've used it on this side, so that's why there's a little bit of purple on it. Circular motions. And you know what? Blending takes time. So you got to be patient. You got to be very patient because it does take time. See how that line's almost gone? So I'm happy with that for now. But it's still kind of dark there, but that's okay. I'm going to show you how to really blend it out the way this is. So now we're going to take their next shade. We're going to take a shade lighter than what we used on the crease. So I'm going to go in with the Mikayla X palette. And I'm going to go in with this purple here. This is called Pot 2. Okay, and then I'm going to take another fluffy brush. I'm going to use this fluffy brush here. And I'm going to go in. Tap off, and very lightly, see how I'm holding it on the end, very lightly, kind of putting that in, and that's going to give it more of like, it's called a transition color, so it's going to give it just a little bit more of a blended feel. The trick to it is too, like if you want to use one shade, you can. Like, I've done makeup, blended out really, really nicely with one shade, but for the most part, I use 2 to 3 shades. And it looks awesome. The more shades you use, the more it's going to look blended because it's like going dark, medium, light type situation, you know? So I'm happy with the way that looks. So now I'm just going to wipe this brush off on my towel. And then I'm going to kind of go in with this purple here. That one is called MJ. Oh, I always tap off the excess too, otherwise you're just going to get stuff all over your face. I was doing my foundation first, and then I decided no, because I was constantly always having to fix it up. So I always do my foundation last now. And that way it saves me time on having to fix it up, you know? So look how good that looks. And I mean, it's pretty good. So now I'm just going to go in with my feather brush again that I used with the blending on to begin with. And I'm going to go over all of them. I'm just going to go over the whole thing. I'm going to wipe it off and do it again. And again, holding it at the end, small circular motions. Okay. So we see that we still have a line there. So now I'm going to show you how to fix that. We're going to take our brush that we used originally for the crease, put some color on it, and we're going to hold it at the end again, and we're just going to lightly tap. Just lightly tap. Because if you tap it, it's going to give you a more blended feel. See how that's kind of fading away? We still have our dark transition color, or we still have our dark crease color, but it's looking more blended than it was before. Right? Doesn't that look so much better now? But I'm still gonna darken the crease up a little bit because I like to have my crease really, really dark, and it really gives a great blending feel. So I darkened up the crease a little bit, and again, I was just kind of doing the circular motions. And there we go. So we're gonna leave it like that for now, and we're gonna do the next step. So the next step, I'm going to use the Jeffree Star Choking on Ice highlighter, and I'm going to put that along my my brow bone. So if you use like a shimmer or any kind of really light shade, it doesn't even have to be a shimmer, but I love my shimmers. If you put that on your brow bone, it's going to make it look even more blended. I'm going to go in with my it's a dense flat brush. And this is again from Spoiled Cosmetics. It's a little glitter brush. It's so cute, right? So I'm going to use that. I'm not going to tap off the excess. And I always start at the arch. And I really want to pack on the color because I love the glitter. So I'm just doing a couple strokes, and then I'm adding more to my brush. And I'm going to keep doing that. And like, it's going to look even more blended. So it's okay if you get it on the color on like down here. It's okay because it's going to make it look even more blended. But we don't want to take off, see, sometimes it takes off a little bit of the color. So I'm just going to take this little round, fluffy, but kind of dense brush, and I'm just going to kind of move circular motions and just kind of blend it and make that color kind of come back. Like, look at that. Doesn't that look so good? Like, look at that blending. And it, like, you just got to keep working with it until you're happy. So the next step is going to be the lid. See how this is very blended and kind of transitions into like dark to light? That's what I'm going to show you how to do next. So I am going to take my crease color that I used, and I'm going to bring this in just a little bit more. And I'm kind of holding it a little bit closer because I want it to be a little bit more pressure. So I'm bringing that up. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with the lid color. The lid color that I used was from Wicked Sisters Ghoul book. And I used this shade here. That shade is called Duh. And I'm just going to use my finger. So I'm going to use my middle finger because it gives it just a little bit less pressure than your index finger. And I'm just kind of bringing that right in. And it's okay if you go on the crease too, on your crease color, because it's going to make it look, again, a little bit blended. Okay. See, there we go. Wipe that off. And then we're just going to take, again, the brush that we used for our crease, and we're going to lightly just kind of feather on there. And then we're going to go in with the colors that we used to blend from the Mikayla X palette. We're going to use these two purples again. We're going to use this purple here and this purple here. And we're going to lightly, I'm going to use this brush here, which is kind of dense. We're going to just lightly kind of feather it on. And then wipe that off. And then go in with the purple, the lighter purple. And then just kind of work with it until you're happy with what you see with the transition. So we're just going to keep going here. Then I'm going to go in with the darker color again and really bring it up. And I lost some of the shimmer, so I'm going to go in and put a little bit more shimmer on my lid. And I'm just going to tap it on so we don't lose all of that blending that we just did. And I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, look at that. Looks pretty good. And when you're going from dark to light, oh, I got something in my nose. When we're going dark to light, I always kind of like to stop. If you're looking straight on, I usually try to stop right before I hit my pupil. So that way you really have all that color on the inside. So I'm pretty happy with the way it all turned out. I'm just going to put a little bit more color on the outside here, because now I'm going to shape my eye. I'm going to shape it like this. So when shaping my eye, I just get a cotton pad and I take my micellar water. I put a little bit on here, just a little bit, kind of spread it out and then fold it in half. And I'm just going to go and shape that eye. Okay, I think we're good. See, for me personally, I really like that cut straight line. I really, really like that look. It's not for everybody, but it's what I like, so that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to take my eyeliner pencil and I'm going to do my upper lash line and my waterline. So let's get this on. And then we're going to put on lashes. The lashes that I used today are from Spoiled Cosmetics as well. And they are from the Lash Monthly. And this is number 11. It's a really beautiful lash, as you can see. It's not too bold and it's not too natural either. It's like right in the middle. It's perfect. It's really great. I'm just going to go off camera and put my lash on and I'll be right back. My lash is on. Everything's good. And then what I did next after I put my lashes on is I just put a little bit of concealer underneath my eye before I put the color underneath my eye like I did on here. I always put concealer first. I feel like it gives it more of a blended feel. It actually keeps it in place. Yeah, so I always put concealer on first. So for the color underneath, I'm just going to use the same brush that I used for my crease. And I'm going to do underneath. And I'm kind of holding it in the middle because I want to have a little bit of pressure. Not too much pressure, but a little bit more pressure than being so light when we're blending and holding it on the end. And I'm just going to pull this back and kind of connect. Connect right there. Perfect. And then we're just going to take our blending brush that we used, the little feather brush, and just blend it out. And I'm going to go in just with whatever excess I have on my brush from the Mikayla palette for what we used for our transition colors. I'm just using whatever's left on my brush. I'm blending it out even more. Perfect. So now we're going to do the inner corner. For the inner corner, I used Jeffree Star. I love his highlighters. This one is called My Glit. These are freaking amazing. If you love glitter and shimmer, these highlighters are for you. And FYI, they're on sale right now for $12. Normally they're like 55 bucks. They're on sale for 55 or for freaking $12. So if you got to try these out. Like my favorite, I use it almost on every single look. So we're going to use this on the inner corner. This is like a pink shimmer. We use the purple on the up on the brow bone. So we're going to use the pink. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. We're going to use the pink on the inner corner. So I'm going to go in with a flat, and it's much more dense than any of the other brushes that I've used today. So I'm going to go in with this one. Really pack on the color because, again, I love my glitter. If you haven't tried these out, my God, you have to try these out. And I'm just going to really pack it in. Like, OMG. Oh, I got a little black spot. Like, look at that glitter. Isn't that just gorgeous? So, and I'm just going to take it, the end, and just kind of blend it in with the rest of the color like I did there. And because I like my glitter so much, I'm just going to kind of slightly do a sweep over the whole eye. And then take our fluffy blending brush and really blend it out. Like, look at that. It looks so pretty. And if you go a little bit too far down, like I've noticed I went a little bit too far down on the under eye, I'm going to take my flat foundation brush that I use for my concealer, and I'm just going to lightly bring it up. Easy peasy. So let me go finish off my face and I'll be right back. All right, so here's the final look. We're all done. Face is done. Eyes are blended. Like, look at it. They look so, so pretty. So I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. If there's anything that you guys want to see me do, just let me know in the comments, and I would be happy to, you know, do some more of these tutorials for you guys and kind of teach you a few things. If you want to try any of the products that I tried out today, check them out on Instagram, and for Wicked Sisters, check them out on Etsy. They're really, really great. They have quite a few different palettes, and they're really nice. Spoiled Cosmetics, a ton of their products. I use their lipstick here. This shade is called, this play shade is called Katie. And yeah, and I use their moisturizer well. They just came out with a new skincare line. So if you want to check them out, please do. I have a discount code. You don't have to use it, but if you want to get a little bit of a discount code, check out, just put in Rock Your Colors and you'll get 10% off. Okay, so again, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And don't forget, if you like my content, hit that subscribe button. All right, thank you so much, guys. Bye.